This video will provide step-by-step instructions for completing the demographic form required to track all clinical experiences. To begin, enter your Nichols student email address. Select the current semester and current year. Enter your first and last name. Enter a name for the clinical experience. This is sometimes provided by your instructor. If it is not, you may enter a name of your choosing. Select the level of the clinical experience you are currently logging. Level 1 is observations. Level 2 are small groups, tutoring, or interviews. Level 3 are implemented lessons. For case studies, your instructor will let you know which option you should choose. Choose the appropriate in-task category for the clinical experience. This information should be given by your instructor. If it is not provided, you may select Not Applicable. Select your major. For question 9, if you are a traditional undergraduate candidate, you will select the first option that begins with Not Applicable. If you are a certification only or a Master of Arts in Teaching candidate, you will select your area of concentration for this question. Question 10 will be answered based on your program level. Undergraduate and certification only candidates should choose Initial. Master of Arts in Teaching and all other graduate candidates should choose Advanced. Next, select the course in which the clinical experience was assigned. You will also select the instructor of the course in which the clinical experience was assigned. Here you will enter the name of the school, site, or video that was observed. If you visited an elementary, middle, or high school, you would enter the name of that school here. If you observe some other educational site, such as Touchstone, you would enter the name of that facility here. If you watched a video that counts as observations, you would enter the title of the video here. For this question, you will enter the name of the site contact you observed. This would be the classroom teacher or the supervisor you worked under if you observed a different educational site. This should not be the instructor of the course you are enrolled in unless they have given you specific instructions to put their name here. Next, select the gender and ethnicity of the site contact. If you are not sure of their ethnicity, you can select Not Reported. Enter the site contact's year of experience. Try your best to collect this information. If you are unable to do so, you can simply enter NA here. Choose the site contact's highest degree level. Try your best to obtain this information when you are observing a teacher or other site contact. If you are unable to obtain this information, or you conducted observations via video, you may choose Not Reported. Select all grade levels you observed or taught in. If you interviewed a teacher, you may select all grade levels they teach. If you watched a video, select the grade levels best associated with the video. Select all subject areas you observed or taught in. Again, if you interviewed a teacher, select all of the subjects they teach, and if you watched a video, select those best associated with the video. The next section focuses on the students that were present for the clinical experience. For most of these questions, you will have to use your best judgment, especially when watching videos, to determine what number to enter for each item. For questions 21 and 22, enter the number of male and female students that participated in the clinical experience. If you conducted the clinical experience over several days, enter the highest number you have recorded for each type of student. For questions 24 through 27, you will have to use your best judgment to determine the ethnicity of the students present during the clinical experience. You should not ask the teacher to give you this information. If there are no students of a particular ethnicity, you should enter 0 in the field. For question 28, you will more than likely always select information not available unless you are observing in a private school setting where all of the students belong to the same religion. Again, this is information you should not ask of the teacher. The next set of questions focuses on more information related to the students present during your clinical experience. For most of these questions, you will not have access to the information needed to answer the question. Much of this information is protected by the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. Unless the teacher voluntarily shares the information or you know the answer for certain without asking, you will enter NA for questions 29 through 34. The final question is where you will enter the total number of hours for the clinical experience. This number should be provided by your instructor. Remember that this number does not always reflect the total number of hours you spent in a classroom or other setting. The total may also include hours given for completing reflections or another assignment associated with the clinical experience. Once you click Submit on this form, you will receive an email confirmation that includes a copy of your responses. This email can be used to submit evidence that you have completed the form. There is another video that shows you how to save the email in order to submit on Moodle. If you need to complete additional demographic forms, you will click on the Submit Again button to get a blank copy of the form that can be filled out again. If you realize that you made a mistake when filling out the form, locate the email confirmation you received after submitting the form. There will be a link that you can use to edit your responses as needed. Watch the next video to learn how to save your email confirmation as a file that can be submitted on Moodle. If you have any other questions about completing the clinical experience demographic form, please visit the Clinical Practice and Residency website or speak to your instructor.